Hi guys, I'm Nayav. Welcome back to another episode of the Love Diaries. So in my last episode we talked about authenticity and what makes a person you, and I told you 3 parts. I told you your mind, your body, and your soul, and I went into your mind in depth and I went into your body in depth, but I didn't actually go in depth with your soul. I told you we would do that later, and I had a reason why we did it that way, and it is because this is my favorite topic. Talking about who we are and our essence and what our soul actually is probably one of my favorite things to do. So I just really wanted to designate the right amount of time and attention to this, seeing as how I'm so in love with my soul. I really just wanted to talk about it the most. Okay, so you are so powerful beyond anything that you even are allowed to believe. My question that I always ask people are, do you believe that you exist within nature, or do you believe that you exist outside of it? And this is an extremely important question to ask. And the reason for this is because it will tell you everything that you need to know about a person's perspective and where they are in their journey right now. So when you are more into your ego, you believe that we're all separate. You believe that everything is outside of us. You believe that it's only us. There's nothing more. And you feel very isolated, and you feel very alone, and you feel very sad, and you feel like you're more rooted into your survival skills. And when you believe that we exist not only within nature but a part of it, you believe in connection, and you believe in we, and you're no longer driven by self-centered fears and by selfishness and by ego. You're not afraid of anything. You've kind of come to the realization that we have literally access to everything, and that we truly do live in abundance. And for me, this is really important to know about a person, because it will tell me where I need to come down and meet you at, and it tells me also how do I need to talk to you. How can I show you the most care? How can I show you how can I be the most loving to you in this way that you would recognize it? So the reason for this is because your soul, you, literally is nature. In my first episode, we talked about what love is, and love is space where creation can happen freely and be unconditionally accepted. And so, literally, I can't think of anything more fitting for this, because we literally exist on a giant rock floating in space where things literally are created. We are the epitome, our existence is the epitome of love. Literally, all we are is a vessel for thoughts to flow through. So literally, this body is just space where creation can happen freely and be unconditionally accepted. And the way that we create is through our thoughts. And the way that we think can either be given to us by our ego, or it can be given to us by nature, which is God, which is the universe, which is you, effectively, because if all you are is love, and if all the universe is love, and if God is love, then effectively God is you, which would now make you the creator of everything. You can literally say, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Have some respect, you're in the presence of God. Because that's you. And I don't mean to say this from like a pride perspective, because I truly know that as a vessel, I'm absolutely nothing. I've seen what I can do as a vessel without God, and it was pretty pathetic. So when I use the reference, I am God, it means I have released this vessel back to the universe, back to the creator of everything, back to God, and it has come in and it has flowed through me, and it is now the thoughts that occupy this vessel, and God is the one that creates now. So everything that is created now in my life, I did not do this. This is not me. I cannot take responsibility for this. This is truly God's work. I have my own apartment. I have the most loving boyfriend in the entire world. I'm so happy. I have literally everything that I need, everything I could ever want. I have the most beautiful life. And I can honestly say, I did not do this. I've seen what it looked like when I tried to create of myself by myself, and it was a mess, and I hit rock bottom, and it was painful, and it hurt, and it was disgusting, and I was ugly. And now I can honestly say, since meeting my soul, since these new thoughts have come in, since it showed me the old ones, since we've released, since we've done the healing work. I don't know if you saw my first segment, but I literally had like 2 or 3 personality disorders. It healed the thoughts, it healed the reasons behind the thoughts, it healed the different parts of me that I didn't even realize were fractured. So I can honestly say that I'm so in love with this person now sitting in front of you. She is so confident, she is so beautiful, she is so amazing, she's so gifted, she's so talented, so well versed. She can connect with literally anybody on all walks of life. She's so loving, so empathetic, and literally all of that is reflected in my reality as well. I sat down for a job interview the other day, and this has never happened to me before. The interviewer said, I want to make sure that we bring you in and put you in the right environment. I don't want to hinder your growth. I see everything that you have to offer. I would never want to stick you with the closed-minded individuals who wouldn't be able to grow from you and also teach you. So before I bring you in, I just really want to make sure that we have the right environment for you. Oh my god, I was floored. Like, I'd literally never seen that before. What job interviewer would actually care about the environment that they bring the person into? Usually they're trying to take from you in a position, not give to you when they're bringing you into a company. So already, I mean, I started my transformation about 3 years ago. So this was kind of like, just showing me where I am now in my evolution, and showing me now the things that I attract, and showing me now the type of people that are drawn to me. Effectively, it's showing me how I feel about myself. And nobody can do to you that you won't allow. And you can do whatever you want in the entire universe. Create literally anything. If you want to create businesses, create businesses. If you want to go help people, go help people. My only advice to you would be to give it over to God first before you try to do it. We talked about intention, and we talked about authenticity, and just kind of really ask yourself why. So give it over to yourself, basically, since you're God. Just really ask yourself why. Why am I doing this? What's my intention? Why do I want to be here? What's the feeling that I have? So that's really how you can save yourself from making a lot of mistakes. And also go back and just take responsibility. Go back to the moments that hurt you the most. Go back to the relationships that hurt you the most. You have to go back and relive the most painful experiences that you've ever been through, so that you can look at it a different way, so that you can gain a new perspective, so that you can create differently. The one thing about, not one thing, there's so many things. God is everything. It would be really, really silly of me to say one thing, but one thing about God, not the one thing, but God cannot bring anything new to you unless you take responsibility for your fuck-ups, for your mess-ups, for the times that you hurt others, and then you have to look at the reasons why you hurt others, because there really should not have been a reason in the first place. Like, you're allowed to be whoever you want to be. If you were mean, and you found a reason to do it, no. There's no reason to be mean to another human being. That's just who you are as a person, and we need to accept that. We can also change it. Do we still want to do this? No, I don't. I want to be a nice person. Why? Just because I do. Just because I don't have a reason to be mean to anybody else. Just because I'm so grateful for what I have in my life that I just want to make sure I'm bringing good experiences to other people and not feeding back into their bad ones, you know? So we always have a choice too. Who do I want to be? This is your power. You're God. You could do whatever you want. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a nice person? Go be a nice person. Do you want to be an asshole? Go be an asshole. Do you want to create this? Go create this. Do you want to have $1 million? Go have $1 million. I would really suggest to you why you want it, because a lot of times what we think we want isn't what we actually want. And I mean that in a way of, I want $1 million. Are you sure? Because what's $1 million sitting around going to do? Really, it's quite useless. No. What you really want is freedom. What you really want is the ability to get up and go whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want. What you really want is to be able to live lavishly and to really indulge. And so there's some things that you won't be allowed to experience because of the intention behind it. And keeping you from that might actually be more helpful than allowing you to receive it. So just keep that in mind too. Whenever you're not getting things, it's because it's probably in your highest good for you not to. But really just hand everything over to the universe. You know what, God? I really want to see this. I really want to experience this. I really want this to happen. And I want it to happen in the most safe and loving way. Because when we're manifesting, we also get to choose how we want it to manifest. Literally, every single fucking detail of your life is a choice. Every single thing, down to the T. I want to be this person. Okay, well, that's the people you're going to attract too, because you're attracting what you are. You're attracting your beliefs, and you're attracting your karma, basically. You're attracting the energy that you're putting out is also what you're getting back. So literally, you're the creator of everything. And when I was doing my awakening, deconstructing, I don't know, when I was reanalyzing everything, and I was being coached through it, through the universe. I don't know how many of you out there, this would actually be really freaking interesting for me to know, how the universe communicates with you. I can literally hear it and interact with it as if it was sitting next to me, like as if my best friend were sitting next to me asking me questions. That's the way that it comes into my head, and it doesn't really have a specific voice. It's more a feeling of the communication. So like I'll be shown a picture, but sometimes it does communicate with me through verbal thoughts, but there's no voice behind it. It's just like, it's like if I were to play a vibration. This is weird. It'd be like if your voice was talking, but your ears were closed, but you could never mind. Anyways, it talks to me. I can't even go further with this. I don't even know what to say anymore. So just when you're manifesting, literally everything is a choice. So you need to take responsibility also for the choices that you've made in the past. Those influence the behaviors that you have now. Because I chose to learn this truth, I had this kind of behaviors because I was bringing this to myself. Okay, because I was hurt as a child in the past, that resulted in me being mean in all of my relationships, taking them for granted, being overly controlling, being overly bearing, having some trust issues. So I'll take responsibility for that. That was never an excuse for me to treat you in this way. And I'm sorry for it. I didn't mean to do it. From now on, I want to treat people like this. I want to do these kind of behaviors. I want to act in this way. I want to be more kind. I want to be more respectful. I want to be more loving. And when you start to act in ways that no longer insult yourself, that's when you can truly have a pure love for yourself. And I really, really want to talk to you about what it looks like when you love yourself. So if you ever mess anything up, say you put like, I don't know, you broke something or whatever. So many people resort to, God, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? That was so dumb. I can't fucking believe I did this. Not again. What is wrong with me? Oh my God. There's like 10 things wrong with you right now, just in that sentence alone. First off, you have so high expectations of perfection of yourself that you don't leave any room for error. Second, why on earth would you talk to yourself like that? Why do you emotionally abuse yourself and pull yourself down into unspeakable levels just because you didn't accomplish an act right? Third of all, you never tell yourself that it's okay. You never tell yourself that you still love yourself. You make yourself hate yourself for all of the things that you messed up and all of the reasons why you didn't do this right, rather than learning from it. And instead of learning from it, you choose not to look at it anymore because you're scared you're going to get mad at yourself again because you were mad at yourself the first time. Why would I want to go look at the time that I was mean to another person because I completely hated myself for doing that? Okay. I hated the way that you did that. I need to be honest with myself. I did not like you. I don't like that. I don't like that you act like that to get this. Can we please not do it anymore? It's really that easy. Okay, I'm making the choice that I don't want to act like this to get this anymore, because you can have whatever you want. You already know this. Deep down on a cellular level, you already know that you already have everything. So now all you need to do is, how do I want to receive this? Do you want to receive it in a safe and loving way, or do you want to receive it through abuse? Do you want to receive it through manipulation? Do you want to receive it through hurting others? How do you want to do this? And that choice is entirely up to you also. Third thing, when do you want to buy? When do you want to see this by? Because, and I say the question, when do you want to see this by? Because it's entirely possible that what you're asking for, you already had it and you just didn't see it at the time that you had it. So when we say, when do you want to see this by? That means, when do you want it to click? Either it needs to manifest within your actual vision, or the memory of you having it at one point and you didn't realize you had it is going to click, thus bringing you out of desperation mode and into receiving mode. Because once you have that mentality, oh shit, I already had it, I already do have it, wow, I was really mean to it, I shouldn't have been like that, I'm so sorry, if I ever get the opportunity to do this again, I'm going to treat it like this. Because why would somebody do that to you? Like, why if you give a toy to a child and you see them throwing it and breaking it and you take the toy away and they say, give me the toy back, why would you? You would be like, no, to first take responsibility for what you did with it first, and then I'll give it back to you. And effectively, what yourself is doing is, when you first started coming away from it, when you first started abusing it, when you first started being mean to it, it left. It had to. It loves itself too much to allow you to treat it like that. It has too much respect for itself. It has too much love for itself. It has too much everything for itself. It would never allow you to treat it in that way. So it left you. The first act against yourself that you committed, your soul left. Why would it come back to you? Why would yourself come back to you? It doesn't trust you. It doesn't think that you're going to treat it good again. It doesn't think that you're going to all of a sudden learn how to love it. No, you need to go back and you need to take responsibility for the way that you hurt yourself to begin with. And then after that, yourself will start coming back to you slowly. It'll start reconnecting with you. It'll start building trust with you again. It'll start communicating with you again. It'll start building love with you again. You'll start growing in love with yourself again. But you need to take responsibilities for the time that you didn't love yourself first. Whether it was because of the way that you learned something or because you were just being stupid. You're not stupid. Sometimes the things we do out of curiosity is stupid. So, like drugs or any kind of addiction that we were having, like, most of it is experimental. I just want to see what this is like. I'm just curious. I just want to see what happens. Humans are so curious. We want to know everything because we honestly don't know anything. And our souls are so loving because it says, okay, I'm going to let you. You didn't ask me to intervene. You didn't ask me to interfere. You're telling me that you want to do this. I can't participate in this. I'm going to have to go while you do this experimenting, but I'll come back when you're done. So you need to go back to the first couple times when this act against you, when your own acts against yourself started happening. Other people can do acts against you, but as long as you come back to yourself, you say, ow, self, that really hurt, it'll say, I love you. But once you start doing this to yourself, once you start taking on these truths, once you start believing them, then it says, I can't be a part of this. It's like if you're being in a relationship with another person and they were acting all good and you guys were so in love, and then all of a sudden they start cheating and becoming disrespectful and doing this. Wouldn't you say the same thing? Like, wouldn't you stand up for yourself? Like, if you truly love yourself, you know what? I respect that you want to partake in these activities. That's your life. You can 100% do whatever you want to do. I can't participate in this. You already made the decision that this is what you're going to do. I have no choice but to leave. Right? And then maybe a couple years later down the line, this person comes back to you and says, you know what? I really fucked up. I am so sorry. You were absolutely right. You loved me so much, and I had no right to treat you this way, and I had no right to do whatever I wanted to do, and I had no right to pull you into the experiments that I wanted to do with myself. Can you please forgive me? Will you please take me back? And you could be like, okay, prove it. Tell me all of the things that you ever did wrong. Tell me all of the things that you see wrong about it. Take responsibility for how that went wrong and tell me how you're never going to do this again. And you guys sit there together and you have a very long emotional talk, and the shit he did is really shameful. Like, he did some really awful stuff. Now, he didn't know this, but you had a camera on him the whole 4 years that you guys were broken up or whatever. You already knew all of this happened. If he leaves one thing out, you're going to know that he wasn't honest with you, and you're going to be like, no thank you, I don't want to come back to you. But if he does sit there and he takes responsibility for every single thing that you saw on that camera, he takes responsibility for all the ways that this went wrong, he promises he's never going to do it again, and he chooses to be here and faithful to you and loving to you and learn with you instead this time, you would probably take him back. I mean, it seems like he's matured. It seems like he's had some time to reflect, and it really seems like he's genuine in what he's trying to accomplish here, and your soul feels the same way about you. Look, I completely understand that you want to go do this. No judgment. I was watching the whole thing. I know exactly what you did. I'm not judging you. You are free to do whatever you want. You completely have free will. I sat here and loved you the whole time. It didn't even get worse because I was here. But I cannot come back to you. We cannot have a relationship if I know that you're going to go doing those things to me again. This just isn't going to work. I can't be here. You need to sit down with me. You need to talk to me. And you need to go over every single thing that ever happened that you did wrong. Take responsibility for it and tell me how this is never going to happen again. And this is how you move through energy. And this is how you move through life. And this is how you transmute things. And this is how you move along and you move on and you go. And this is how you become unstuck. Even if the responsibility is, I'm so sorry that I ever let my mom tell you that you weren't good enough. She was lying. That was a lie. I didn't know that at the time. I had no idea. Because even some of the things that you learn is already an act against yourself. Even though you haven't actually acted it out yet, the potential for you to is already there because this is already a truth to you. It doesn't want to participate in that either. It can't flow freely if those thoughts are there and then it get caught up into your whatever is going on. It just can't do that. So it just sits back and it just watches until the day you decide that you want it to come back. And not out of desperation and not because you just need a break until you can go out and abuse it again. But once you're truly done and you're truly like, no, I can really see that I'm messing this up pretty good. I can really see that I'm getting myself stuck in cycles that I can't get out of. Because that's another thing too. We need to identify the cycles that we're getting ourselves into, our life cycles. That's where you feel stuck, is in this cycle that you can't get out of because you haven't looked at it long enough to take responsibility for it. That's another thing we do too. No, you haven't come out of this cycle yet. No, you're not really ready to move on. I cannot take you to the next level until you've understood and mastered the level that you're on. Why would you? Like, if you saw somebody that sucked at mini golf, would you take them like on an actual golf course and like try to have them do this like a whole 9 yards? Like, no, you see that they can't get anything into a hole. Why take this to the next level? But once they're like, also, ask for help. It's okay. If you don't know what you don't know, say it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why am I stuck in the cycle? Why does this keep happening? Help. I need help. Bring me the guidance. Bring me the materials. Bring me the people. Maybe it's this video. Maybe you already identified that you're stuck in a cycle and you already don't know how to get out of it. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's me. Whatever. Just ask for any type of help. I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to get out of this. Sit down. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at what is really bothering you, because where you're angry holds all the answers. What you're afraid to look at holds all of the answers. So the answers that you're already looking for are already there. Literally, all you have to do is just look at it. And you can ask for your thoughts to be guided too. Please guide me to the best thoughts that I need to have in order to reach the conclusion that I need to see this. I want to see this. Help me. I know it's already here. I know the answer lies within me. I know that I've already been given the tools to move on to the next level. It's just up to me whether or not I decide to. And just really sit down and just really look at it and really be honest with yourself. And it's going to be so ugly. You're going to be so ashamed of the things that you've done, like, and the things that you allowed happen to you. And it is really shameful, and you do have to be super vulnerable with yourself, and you do have to say, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That was really shitty of me. That I was a really shitty person back then. But that's okay. It is okay. You were experimenting. You didn't know. You had no clue that what you were going to do at that time was going to result in the way that it was going the first time. The second time, you really needed to see that maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe I'll have a different result. We'll see. Second time. Okay, now we're at the third time. This isn't a mistake anymore. This is straight up a behavior. So now we need to look at it. Oh, we're going to do this a fourth time. You really need 4 rounds of this to realize that you're not getting stuck out of this. Like, okay, keep going. And it starts hurting. And then you start getting angry, and you start getting frustrated, you start getting resentful, and you start taking it out on others. And that's when you start trying to change them. At this point, you're so angry that you have to do this again. You're starting to change the other person. No, you stop acting like that. I deserve better. What? Well, why don't you ever freaking go look at what you were just doing? Like, you've done this 4 times. Haven't you identified the behaviors that you've been doing by now that's resulting in this kind of action? That's literally the definition of insanity. Repeating the same action over and over again, expecting a different result. You are insane. You're running around in a circle trying to figure out what's going on. Like, if you saw people in a mental institution, would you walk right into it and be like, hey guys, what's up? No, you would avoid that at all costs. That's the same thing with your soul. That's the same thing with God. Why would it want to be in a place where you're going to go do the exact same thing over and over and over? It already knows what went wrong. It already knows what happened. It already knows why you're not moving forward. It's waiting for you to get there so that it can take you to the next level, and you're not going to go do those things again. If you're having relationship issues and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over in all of your relationships, why would it bring you your soulmate? You're going to fuck that up. You're going to do the exact same things with that soulmate that you just did with this one. Is that really what you want to happen? You meet the love of your life, the perfect person, everything that you've ever wanted, and then you go do the same thing? No, you don't want that to happen, and it doesn't want that to happen to you. It doesn't want to set you up for failure. It wants you to be successful. Why would it bring you on to level 2, grade 2, if you didn't master everything in grade 1? Right? Imagine if this is like high school and you're like, oh, I didn't actually learn pre-algebra, but I think I'd be really good at calculus. Homie, you can't even put two and two together. Like, how the hell are you supposed to go find the lyrical whatever for a sphere? Like, what are you thinking about? Like, no. There's levels to this. Like, get off your high horse. Come out of your pride. Like, you need to be a beginner. You need to start. You need to, like, really crash and burn and experience this on the worst level. And then you get to move forward. Like, come on, let's be realistic about this. You can't start off in college if you never finished high school. That's not the way this works. There are some very gifted children. There are some exceptions. This is not to be taken literal, but that's not how life works. So for most people, I can't tell you what you can and can't do. You're God. You decide that for yourself, but there are some children who have been placed in the right environment with the right people, and they can't do those things. It's up to you, though. It's up to you to create whatever you want to create. Do whatever you want to do. Sophie, my love, come here. Come here. Sophie, come here, baby. Come here. No, come here. Hold on. Come here. I'm right back to the little chubby. Okay. So anyways, that's everything about this segment, about who you are. You're God. Have fun creating. You can literally do whatever you want. You can literally be whatever you want, whoever you want, go wherever you want. You have complete freedom. It is already there. If you're not seeing it, it's because something that you need to take responsibility for. If you need help, ask for help. If you want to ask me, if you want to ask God, if you want to ask the universe, God, send me the answers that I need to receive in a way that I will recognize in a safe and loving way to ensure that I can get to my goals that I'm trying to do, because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not doing it right. So that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for existing. Thank you so much for being here. You are so loved and you are so wanted, and have fun. This is a game. So let's play.